joining us on the Mercedes-Benz van phone line after that W in Santa Clara against the San Francisco 49ers is quarterback Colt McCoy. How are you, Colt?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you. Thanks for having me on this morning.
How did that feel for you yesterday? What was that like for you yesterday,
It was
Colt?
great. It was great. Anytime you can go on the road in a division and come out on top, I think, those plane rides are pretty fun on the way home. And for me, it was kind of a crazy week. You didn't know if Kyler was going to be able to go or not. It was kind of up in the air most of the week, and just to be able to step in and guys kind of rally around me. You mentioned James. I thought James played outstanding yesterday. Made my life a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
The guys up front blocked well. I mean, the San Francisco's defense is really good, especially up front. So we were better yesterday. We played well, and again, to get a win on the road like that is huge.
People in my position, Colt, use the word challenge a lot. Like, what's the challenge in this and what's your challenge in that? But I imagine there's no greater challenge than trying to prepare for a game that you don't know that you're actually going to play in until the last second. What is the challenge in doing that, Colt?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of the life of a backup, right now. You always prepare. You never know. Most of the times you prepare, for a game where if something were to happen to the starter, you just got to come off the bench and be ready to go. This week I did get some reps in practice, but it was still kind of up in the air. There's uncertainty around Kyler. He's having an unbelievable season, and he obviously wanted to be out there and play. And so it makes it that much sweeter that we were able to pull through and get a win and kind of get back on the winning streak.
And so, what was it like for you in the middle of that game? I mean, again, it's been a minute, right? So
yeah,
it can't be simple to just step right back in, and now you're in the midst of a significant game for you. You guys swept a season opponent, a division opponent that is huge, and certainly with a chance to get a 1 seed still. So I'm wondering what that sensation is like, if you can put us in your shoes, Colt McCoy.
Yeah, well, I mean, I thought Kliff did a really good job of sort of getting me in rhythm early in the game. We didn't convert on our first third down, but we came off. We communicated well, and he kind of knew what I liked, and I kind of knew where he wanted to go with his next few calls, and I started in a rhythm early, and that really helped. Our quarterbacks coach Cam Turner did a great job all week of, we thought Kyler was going to play, and then as the week goes on, you kind of, all right, what do you like on third downs? What do you like in the red zone? You kind of start, Kyler and I like a lot of the same things, but maybe I see something a little bit different. I kind of like this. We kind of just detailed that all week, and then all of a sudden it was Sunday, time to play. And I think the guys on offense did a great job of just kind of rallying around me. I think they had confidence in me. Our defense played lights out again. They've been playing at a really high level, and even when guys weren't able to play, I wasn't playing with Hop or AJ. The other guys stepped up and made plays, and I think that's the sign of a good team, and we just got to keep it rolling.
Colt McCoy here on the Rich Eisen Show, and Kingsbury's out there with his shades going John with Josh Norman. Well, what the hell happened there, Colt?
I don't know. I knew that we got a penalty, so I was thinking about how far that field goal was going to be, and then I saw another flag, and all of a sudden we had a first down. So I don't know the whole scuffle, but kind of crazy turn of events there.
I know, and it's easy to laugh about it because again, it's all good in the hood now that you came up with that win. What's the sensation around there, Colt, about this team and the belief in it from outside in? I know you might tune it out or anything like that, but I noticed J.J. Watt on NFL Films microphone picked up him sensing that not everyone believes in the Cardinals, that you're for real. What is that conversation like within your building, Colt?
Yeah, I think, again, I'm honored to be a part of this team. I'm excited to be a part of this team. I'm thankful that I got to play all those things. But I think Steve has done a great job of assembling a group of guys where there's some good veterans who've been on some good winning football teams, who have good leadership in the locker room, and there's a good mix of young guys who are playing at a high level, making plays, and I think that mix, of veterans and young guys is very healthy. We've battled injuries. We've lost a bunch of guys. Our O-line is banged up. And so for us to go in and play the way we did and come out on top, I think, says a lot about how Kliff coaches us and believes in us. But at the same time, I think it's a really good group of guys who take it 1 week at a time. We don't really listen to the outside noise and think about, like, what's next. We really just try to hone in and focus on 1 week at a time. And, I've been on some teams that don't think that way and, couldn't have really handled a situation like we did last week, right, where we lose on the last play of the game. We're undefeated, and we got to sit on that for 3 or 4 days over that kind of mini bye and then come back and get re-energized and ready to go on the road in the division. I've been in places where that just doesn't happen that way, right? So
sure.
I'm very proud to be a part of this team. This is a really good group of guys, and I think our main focus is just figuring out a way to keep it going.
So I guess in that, I know I'm veering out of our lane for a second, Colt McCoy, but I'll do it, and you answer how you wish. You know what it is like for somebody to be highly drafted, third round, but 85th overall out of the Big 12 and placed in Cleveland, Ohio as the hope and of a franchise there. Do you have any 2 cents on Baker Mayfield and the sort of difficulty he sometimes gets from folks in Cleveland about not doing enough and things of that nature, just putting yourself back in the shoes of 2010, 2011, and things of that nature?
Yeah.
Colt?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you this. I always have the backs of quarterbacks, especially those guys who play in Cleveland. The fans in Cleveland are amazing. All they want is to win. And, I think over the last few years they've done a great job. I mean, they won a playoff game last year. So I know at my time in Cleveland I gave it absolutely everything I had, and it just didn't work for a lot of different reasons. But there wasn't anybody there that wanted it more and wanted to see it work. So I think Baker's done a great job. Again, I'll take the quarterbacks back all the time, because playing this position in this league against these defenses week to week, and for Baker's sake, playing in the AFC North, it's tough. So I don't know what that means. I just know that, I enjoyed my time in Cleveland. We just didn't win. And when you don't win in this league, you get replaced. And I learned that lesson the hard way. And glad to be where I'm at right now.
Yeah,
for sure.
Year 11, Colt, for you, franchise 5, year 11. If I told you on that draft night you'd play 11 years in the NFL, what would you say? What would you say to me?
I did not know what, at that point when I was coming out of college, I didn't know if I was going to get to play again because of the injury that I took in the national championship against Alabama. I mean, doctors couldn't tell anybody when I was going to be ready to play, if I was going to be able to throw again, all those things. So I had to live through that nightmare for a little bit. But, once I got into the league, I realized real quickly that this is not college anymore, and you got to figure out how to play this game like a pro.
And what was that challenge? Seriously, now that you're looking back on it, you hear all the conversations going on in the NFL right now about this guy should start, that guy should start. I guess we're kind of all through that for 2021 with all the starting quarterbacks. And, there was another kid across the way from you yesterday in Trey Lance waiting for his chance when that comes for San Francisco. What is the now you look back with 2020 vision of 11 NFL years for that?
Well, I think that for any young quarterback that comes into the NFL, you were generally the best player on the field wherever you played in college, whether that was high level college or whether it was that for Trey Lance at a smaller school. And so you would go into games knowing you were the best player and making a bunch of plays. And when you come into the NFL, I mean, this is the best of the best. Every team, the teams that have losing records right now have great players, and they're usually, one fumble away or one ball bouncing the other way away from having a winning record. And guys they're just good. You can't run around guys anymore. Lamar Jackson can, Kyler Murray can, I can't. So you got to figure out how to play in the pocket, how to switch protections, how to read defenses, where the ball's supposed to go versus different coverages. That is a huge learning curve. And fortunately, I worked really hard and I'm still able to get to play this kid's game that I really love. But it takes a lot of work and a lot of energy and a lot of effort and a lot of time to really kind of figure that out.
Well, Colt McCoy, you set a career mark for completion percentage, the highest completion percentage you've ever had in your 11 seasons in the NFL, 22 of 26. After the game, Coach Kingsbury lauded you, saying that's how you prepare every day, called you a consummate professional. He knows where he's going with the ball. He gets it out quick and gets us in the right play, protected the ball all day, which we knew we had to do. I'm going to read the next sentence to see where it lands with you. Quote, I'm happy for the University of Texas fans because after that game yesterday, at least they can find some solace in that. Your thoughts
he
in that,
roasted the Texas fans.
Apparently. I mean, I guess he's Texas Tech forever, I understand, in a way. But what are your thoughts on that quote?
They have to take their shots when they can,
Man, I don't mean to stir things up with you and your coach.
No,
but I do feel like, I should give you a chance to retort based on what he said and lauding you and your performance and that big win for you and this franchise and for the team. But why do you have to go all horns down on you like that?
I tell you what, Kliff is one of a kind. He's one of my favorite coaches. He did a great job. I felt like, again, he and Cam of getting me in a rhythm early and then calling plays, and we were executing. I love playing in this system, in this offense, but Kliff will always be a Texas Tech guy, and I'll always be a Texas guy.
Okay.
Just like Kyler Murray will always be an Oklahoma guy.
Right.
So there's just constant jabs going on around the building, but he had his moment up there last night.
I mean, honestly, you had your moment in the sun. Why does it got to do you like that? It's
all in good nature.
Have you been to the Kingsbury Lair? Have you been to that spot that we got a glimpse in during the draft a couple of years ago?
I've just seen pictures like you guys.
Yeah, no, we're putting it right up there. There he is without his socks on and his loafers, like he's in a cologne ad. He's got that working.
Kliff is the man. Kliff is the man.
I agree. I totally agree. But I found that funny. I wanted to give you your chance to respond, Colt, and I'm glad I did.
Oh, that's good. Good stuff.
Thanks for the call, Colt. Congrats on that W. Any sense on next week? Any sense for you right now on where things stand maybe for the next Cardinals game for you?
No, I don't. I mean, I think we'll kind of circle the wagons. We lost some guys last week. We're kind of down on the offensive line a little bit. We lost Chase. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have the next man up, mentality. And, I think Kyle will be ready to go, and we'll see what happens.
Colt McCoy, congrats on that. Let's stay in contact. Really appreciate you taking the time on the Monday after a big dub. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
That's Colt McCoy, everybody, right there on the Rich Eisen Show. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.